So in exchange for the $5.7 billion that President Trump wants for funding for his wall along the southern border with Mexico, he said that he's willing to give, quote, a 3-year legislative relief for about 1 million illegal immigrants. These 1 million illegal immigrants are comprised up of two groups. The first group are the 700,000 DACA recipients. Those are the children that fall under the Deferred Action for Children Arrivals Program, basically children that have been brought into the country illegally, as well as 300,000 people who hold TPS status, so temporary protection status. Those are also illegal immigrants. But make no mistake about it, this is a temporary solution, so it's a stopgap measure. But regardless, the Republicans, right after the statement coming out from the White House, Republicans have stated that they are fully in support of this program. Let me actually look at a couple of tweets that have just come out in the last several minutes. Representative Mike Turner, he's a Republican out of Ohio. He says 800,000 federal employees are continuing to go unpaid. I fully support the solution to get the government open. Another influential lawmaker, Senator Lindsey Graham, he happens to be a close ally of the president. He said that a fantastic proposal, Mr. President, let's get it done. So you can see that this proposal coming out from the White House has garnered a lot of support from the Republicans.
Okay, and how did Democrats react on all this? I guess not everybody are happy with his proposal.
Well, you can be sure about that. For most, if not all Republicans, this proposal is going to be dead on arrival. Make no mistake about it. We have seen two senior Democrats in Washington, the Speaker of the House, the most senior-ranking Democrat in the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi. She is the second in line to the presidency, as well as the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer, say that they would not be considering DACA in any part of the border wall negotiations. We also know this. We spoke to freshman Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. She also echoed that sentiment. Now, keep in mind, this proposal made by President Donald Trump, who was speaking at the White House about an hour ago, that speech was actually leaked to members of the press and to the media several hours before he went on to national television and addressed the nation. We know that this because it had been crafted by Vice President Mike Pence, as well as the senior advisor and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. And even before President Trump actually came out on television, we were hearing from Nancy Pelosi, the leading Democrat in the House of Representatives. She said that Trump's offer to end this government shutdown is, quote, unacceptable and not a good faith effort. So for the Democrats, this is dead on arrival. So not going anywhere.
Now, Alijan, it's interesting that Trump is not calling this barrier a wall anymore, isn't it?
You're absolutely right. Actually, I have to look at my notes in terms of what President Trump called it in his speech. He said it was, quote, a strategically placed steel barrier in high priority areas. What does that mean? It basically means a wall. But it's not going to run the entire 2,000 miles from the coast of the Pacific Ocean down to the Gulf of Mexico. He said that it's going to be in some places because some other areas are actually natural borders, natural barriers, rather. What are we talking? We're talking about rivers as well as mountains. But you can be sure that President Trump's speechwriters specifically chose this term. It was specifically chosen so it would soften the tone and appeal to Americans, saying, look, maybe he's not so harsh in terms of being adamant on a concrete wall along the border, the entire border with Mexico.